Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So on today's video, it's going to change your life for like the better. I'm going to share with you guys how I make my rice. This is the way my mom taught me, and trust me, this rice is bomb, and your boyfriend, husband, child, whatever, whoever is going to love it. So if you guys want to learn how to make some Mexican rice, then just keep on watching. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys the things you're going to need. So you're going to need, of course, some rice. This is just some jasmine rice. And you're going to need some salt and some oil. And then you're also going to need one of these. This is consomate, and this is a tomato flavored one. And you're also going to need one of these, and this is a cup. So you're going to need one of these little guys. And then of course you're going to need a pot, and make sure it has a lid. This is also very, very important. If you don't have a lid, I feel like you could probably use some foil just to cover up the pot, but make sure you have something to cover up the rice. Super important. And of course you're going to need a spoon, and then you're going to need one of these guys. I have no idea what this is called. We're just gonna call it a net, but we're going to use this to separate the oil from the rice. So very important as well. So the first thing that I did was I grabbed my 1 cup of rice and I poured it in here, and I added some water just to clean it, the rice. So I'm going to empty this out, and I'm also going to turn on my stove. So my stove goes from 1 to 9, and so I'm just gonna put it at like in between a 6 and a 7, just so the oil heats up. And so I'm going to pour out the water, and I'll come back and show you guys what's next. Okay, so while the oil is heating up, I'm going to take my tomato and my onion, and I'm going to take this layer of the onion off. Just push that to the side, and I'm going to cut the onion. And then just depending on how much onion you want, you can add more or less. I actually really do like onion, so I'm just going to chop off a good amount. I always like to get it like as thin as possible. So I think that should be good enough. Okay, and then I'm going to cut up my tomato. And yes, my hands are clean. So I'm going to cut up the tomato, and I just do some thin strips as well. And then same goes for the tomato. You can add less or more, just however you would like it, but it's definitely essential to have the onion and tomato. Okay, so once that is done, we're just gonna leave it to the side, and we're going to go back to our pot. So now that our oil is nice and hot, I'm going to add the rice. You might want to get back because sometimes it tends to like explode everywhere, so just be really careful. I'm just gonna put a little bit. Okay, I think we're good. So I'm just gonna pour it all in there. And the goal here with the oil is to just get it like a little bit crunchy. Gonna mix it all in there, and we're just gonna let it get like a little bit hard. And then I'm actually gonna turn up my heat. I'm gonna put it at a number 7. And so yeah, we're just gonna let it get a little bit crunchy, and you'll see whenever it's like ready, because it'll start to like stick together and stuff. But just kind of move it around every once in a while, just so it doesn't get like too stuck together. So I'll be back to show you guys whenever it's nice and dorada. Okay, so once it is nice and doradita, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn down the heat. I actually ended up turning it up to a number 8, but I'm going to turn it down to a 6, in between a 6 and a 7. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this guy, and I'm just going to use this pot just to separate the oil from the rice. And this is why this guy is important, so you can catch all the rice. Then I'm going to toss it back on here. Okay. And next, I'm going to add the onion and the tomato. And mix it in there a little bit. And I'm going to take the little consomate and I'm going to smash it with my fingers and just kind of sprinkle it like all over. This is what's going to give color and also flavor to your rice. So just kind of sprinkle it all in there. You can see I am not a professional. Okay, so once that is done, what I'm going to do is take my water. And so for every cup of rice, you're going to do 1.5 cups of water. Do a full cup. You could do boiling water as well. I feel like that'd be a lot better, but normal temperature water works as well. So that's a cup. And then we're going to add in 1/2 cup. As well. Okay, and then we're just gonna mix it in a little bit. As you can see, it's like turning red. That consomate is the thing that's giving it lots of color, and that's what's gonna make it red. That's why it's called Arroz Rojo. Okay, so once you got it all in there, we're going to let it boil up. So I'm going to turn up my heat up again. I'm going to turn it up to the number, probably an 8. Yeah, an 8. And I'm just going to let this boil. And then I'm going to add a little bit of salt. Okay, so once it is boiling up, I'm going to add some salt. And this is totally up to you how much salt you want to add. I usually just take about like 1/4 size and just sprinkle it all in there. Okay. Once that is nice and mixed, I'm going to turn down the heat to the number 3. And I'm going to close the pot. So then you're gonna want to set your timer for exactly 20 minutes. And also I have to mention, do not open the freaking pot. Leave it closed for 20 minutes and I promise you it's going to be perfect. So just leave it, let it do its own thing, and I'll be back in 20 minutes to show you guys the final result. All right, so my timer just went off for the 20 minutes. I'm going to turn off the stove and I'm going to show you guys. So this is how your rice should look after the 20 minutes. So let's do a taste test on it.